All right, welcome everybody. We are here with the winner of the March Madness, which was on the Jazz Star Fellowship for the tune with the Summertime, which was a great arrangement. So we have our guest here with the guitar, and we will tackle our top three questions, see how it can be most helpful. So I will maybe let you ask your first question, if I understand, was based around the melodic minor and applying it to a minor 251.
Right. I've been working on the melodic minor scale, and the issue is not so much about the scale, but the approach to learning it and creating ideas, basically on a minor 251. And so the approach that I had was to take the minor 7 flat 5 and work on the melodic minor scale for that as a vamp, sort of as a vamp, and then the altered 5 chord as a vamp, and then the minor 6/9 chord. And then after that, I started working on the 251 progression in minor.
Great.
And there's so many resources that are out there that a lot of times the focus is on learn this line, learn that line, learn the other line. And for some reason, I don't process like that. I I like to learn the scales, but not thinking of them as scales, but thinking of them as the pitches most appropriate at the time, and creating ideas. I've listened to a lot of music, and I create ideas that I think reflect my personality and try to put them together. However, of course, you have friends and it's like, oh, you need to learn this line, learn that line, learn the other line. And I was just curious about if that is really the way that people who have been successful in playing jazz guitar approach it. And the focus is on melodic minor because that's what I'm working on, but it applies to really anything.
Good question. Okay, I'll go grab the guitar and probably go on tangents and on segues and stuff, and you can interrupt me whenever you want, but I'll sort of start off by saying that the approach of nailing a certain chord quality and asserting it as a mode of melodic minor is great. Every single... Well, I'll wait until the desk makes it way down. It's way down. Hold on. Okay. Saying that, say, D minor 7 flat 5 is the sixth mode of F melodic minor. So going as you described, and saying, well, that's 6th-degree melodic minor. That's great. Every single melodic minor mode can be thought of this way, and every single one of them, even the second mode stuff, they have their usage in common jazz language, for sure. Secondly, the fact that you're putting them back together is really the crucial step, because they each have a really strong pull. So if I were to vamp, like you're doing, say, D minor 7 flat 5 over D minor 7 flat 5 with a bass vamp and then continues, it is good to build some ideas. And for the record, this is also how I think as scales. It's a collection of pitches. It tells me the roadmap of which pitches are in, but as an improviser, I will tinker and I will go in and out of it chromatically and with rhythms, etc., right? So that's an extremely good approach. But memorized lines, personally, I know the one, the Cry Me a River. Yeah, the Cry Me a River line. That's a lick. All the other licks are like stuff I picked up from Wes, and I think it's good, but I've never been one to either grasp lines like this, fully memorized, and I've never been one to teach that way either. So I think you're saying that you're on the right path. However, I'll tell you this. One, the approach of seeing, say you have D minor 7 flat 5 to G7 alt to C minor or something, as coming from these three different modes, and they're all modes of melodic minor, putting them back together, having the set of pitches, great approach. The next thing, in order to have lines that are more than one measure, I would assume that these jazz legends play with a certain skeleton background which goes into that. Namely, at first, the guide tones, the main ones. The guide tone being right on beat 1, and I'm going to be super pedantic, and I keep repeating this online, and I every time we analyze a solo, we see it on paper, it's like, yeah, this is it. The third of the scale, is going to be a really good signpost of where this is headed. So in the case of D minor 7 flat 5, it's got to be the F naturally. Then, regardless of what mode that is, people will say I use low Korean. That's fine. If you use low Korean natural 2, F melodic minor, good. And then what we want to hear is that resolution. Da, da. So essentially, the line that I encourage anyone to memorize is more like that skeleton guitar line. And regardless of the set of pitches and or my own chromatic colorations of it, that line is like backbone. It's behind my ears all the time. And there's 3. And if you want, I can show you all 3. There's really 3 backbones. And this is an implicit line that whether it is played, whether they are played or heard, I can get and create my own riff within the set of pitches. And sometimes I may fall back down into that tool, which is change running. I pick up that tool from the toolbox and go, yeah, I'm resolving to the 3rd, and the 7th resolves itself, and I go up. I do the Crimea River lick on that 5. You know, even on the G, I can do the Crimea. Or variations of the beginning of that song. And that's it. So that'd be the simplest way to put it together. It's like memorize lines. Nah, not so much. Vamping individually, yeah. Putting it all back together to see where the tensions lead, awesome. And then defining, not memorized lines, but
frameworks.
Frameworks, syntax is more important. Does that make sense? And would you like me to show you?
Yes.
Those? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna get in trouble here because my guys in the coaching, I always teach them, well, we're doing all of this and it's gonna all be C minor harmonic. So you can use all the 3 chords coming from that. So for this video, you guys have been watching me for a while, you'll go like, yeah, Mark is sort of, I'm going on a tangent because your work is even more specific, but the general approach of everything C harmonic minor also works. So frameworks start on the tonic of the 2 chord, namely ascending the D minor 7 flat 5 chord from the root, going 1, flat 3, flat 5, flat 7, resolving down that note to the B natural, so the 3rd of G. It's going to make sense once I play it, I promise. And then descending the scale up until we hit the 3rd of C. So it's essentially 1, tonic, 3, 3. Sounds something like this. I'll do it in quarter notes just for clarity. 2, 3, 4. Coming up. 1, 2, 3, 4. High an octave. Now I would get in trouble because I go. If I did pure A flat harmonic minor, melodic minor, I would need to use a triplet like 1. But you can muster that the way you want. But so long we're hearing 2, 3, that's framework number 1. So far so good. Yeah. Framework number 2 is hitting the 3rd of each, going down. So it's even simpler. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, down. Again with the full line. Again, I would need to cheat it out. So I will anchor on the change each 3rd. The first one has the tonic 3rd, 3rd, and this is 3rd, 3rd, 3rd. And the last one, which is even more interesting, is targeting the 5th of the 2 chord, the framework. So it's 5, right? To the 3rd of the G, and then ascending however you want, and to 5 of C. So flat 5, down, 3, and 5. As coming from harmonic minor, it's this one. if I butter it up with my G altered. Oh, that was, I played that was a wrong note. Okay. Again, 3, 4. Ba, da, da, da. So those are the 3 frameworks that I picked up from Bert Ligon, and he only shows them as all modes of major, so Dorian, Mixo, major, and then he does it all coming from C harmonic minor, but that's just the beginning of the approach. What's cool is that in that book, which I put a link here, it's called Connecting Chords with Linear Harmony. The bulk of the book is lines from players. Like, here's Wes. Look at the solo on In Your Own Sweet Way. Da, 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 da. It's friggin' using that, one of the 3 frameworks. And here's a line from Michael Brecker. Here's a line from Charlie Christian. Here's a line from Pat Metheny. Here's a line from Randy Brecker. Here's a line from Mike Stearns. Here's a line from Coltrane. Here's a line from, you name it, Miles. Parker. And it always works. It always works. And his whole point in the book is we would be hard-pressed to find a good line on a record that does not fit into these 3 frameworks. There it is.
Okay. Wow.
I know that's a lot. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it is a lot. I can't wait to watch the video.
All right, thank you. I hope you have enjoyed. So this was a short clip from our guest that won the March Madness Summertime on our Jazz Guitar Fellowship. So you can join the fellowship for the full extended cut of the whole lesson here on the minor 251, the key of C. And I will see you in there. It's totally free of charge, free forever. Bunch of training, community, contests, or so. A whole bunch of accountability in the fellowship itself. And I will see you soon on jazzguitarlessons.net. Take care. Bye.